Have you ever had this moment? You're watching the news, they're talking about crisis, debt, poverty, budget deficits, and a thought pops into your head so simple, so logical, that you wonder, why hasn't any one of these smart people in suits thought of it? The thought goes like this: why don't we just print more money? Seriously, the country is poor? Print it. Debts? Print and pay them off. Pensioners getting too little? Print it. Add it to the pension. It's just paper. The printing press is there. The ink is there. What's the problem? Today, we will break down why this plan, which seems obvious to every sane bear, is one of the most destructive ideas in human history, and why the countries that tried it regretted it very quickly and very painfully. Welcome to the Berloga. Let's start with the most fundamental misconception. Most people think that money is wealth. This is not true. Money is a ticket for wealth. The difference is huge. Imagine, you are on a deserted island. You have $1 million in cash. Next to you is another bear with no money, but with food, water, and a boat. Who is richer? Exactly. Money only has value because everyone agreed to pretend that it does. It is the most massive collective role-playing game in history. It's called fiat currency. Fiat in Latin means let it be done. The government says, this piece of paper is worth 100 units. Everyone nods. The magic works. But if you print more tickets without creating more real wealth, you didn't get richer, you just diluted the value of every existing ticket. It's like selling 20,000 tickets to a concert hall with 1,000 seats. Is there more money? Yes. Are there more seats? No. Every ticket is just worth less. Section 1. Inflation. Meet Nadia. She runs a bakery. One loaf of bread is $2. The government printed money. Everyone suddenly has more cash in their pockets. Everyone goes to buy bread. Nadia sees the massive demand and thinks, since everyone wants it and can pay more, I'll raise the price to $4. She's not greedy, she just sees the market. Now $2 buys half a loaf. Your savings just lost half their value, and you didn't even notice because nobody reached into your wallet. This is inflation. An invisible tax that isn't voted on in Parliament and isn't announced on TV. Now take this principle and multiply it by 1,000. Germany, 1923. The Weimar Republic decided to print money to pay off war debts. The result? Inflation hit 29,500% a month. Workers were paid twice a day, in the morning and at lunch. By evening, the money had depreciated so much that it couldn't even buy bread. Banknotes were burned in stoves. It was cheaper than buying firewood. A wheelbarrow of cash bought one loaf. They didn't use wheelbarrows for style. The suitcases just didn't fit it anymore. Think Germany is the limit? No. Meet Kwame. Zimbabwe, the 2000s. The government rolled out a land reform. Farms were taken from experienced farmers. Food production collapsed. The economy crashed. The logical solution? Print money. Inflation in November 2008 reached 79.6 billion% a month. That is not a typo. The Central Bank of Zimbabwe issued a $100 trillion bill. 100 trillion on a single banknote. Do you know what you could buy with it? 3 eggs. 4 if you were lucky. Prices changed every few hours. Restaurants took away the menus. While you were eating, the price had already gone up. Kwame carried his salary in a bag and ran to the store. Literally ran. Because in an hour, that money wouldn't buy anything. Plus, 1 point to Zimbabwe for never giving up. In 2019, they relaunched the currency. The exact same thing happened. Okay, printing money is dangerous. But here is a question rarely asked. How is money actually created? Most people think the government decides, the central bank prints, the money goes into the economy. The reality is more complex. Ready? The vast majority of money in the modern economy is not created by the government. It is created by commercial banks the moment they issue loans. When a bank gives you a $10 million mortgage, it doesn't take it from a vault. It literally types the number into a computer. Money appears out of thin air. This is called credit creation. The Bank of England officially confirmed this in a 2014 report. But here's the difference with government printing. The bank creates money against a real asset, your house, your business. This is money with an anchor. A government that just prints creates money without an anchor. Thin air without assets. That is exactly what blows up the economy. Hold on, what about the US, Europe, Japan? They printed money after the 2008 crisis and nothing blew up? Good question. What they did is called quantitative easing, or QE, a fundamentally different operation. The central bank creates new money, yes, but it uses it to buy government bonds from banks. The money doesn't go directly into salaries and pensions, it goes into the financial system through assets. It's like pumping oil into the engine instead of pouring it into the gas tank. Different parts of the machine, different effect. Plus, developed countries do this in a currency the whole world trusts: the dollar, the euro, the yen. Zimbabwe and Venezuela printed the Zimbabwean dollar and the bolivar. Nobody in the world wanted to hold them. If the whole world wants your currency, you have flexibility. If nobody wants it, you are playing a different game, by different rules, and you lose. Think this is all history? Here is today. Meet Rosario, Venezuela, a country with the largest oil reserves in the world, the richest country in Latin America in the 70s. In 2018, inflation hit 1,000,000%. A million. The government subsidized everything using oil money. Oil got cheaper, revenues dropped. They didn't cut spending, they printed money. Then more, then more. Stores emptied out, not because there were no goods in the world, but because companies couldn't operate with such inflation. Why sell today if tomorrow that money won't buy raw materials? Rosario started to weigh the banknotes instead of counting them. It was faster. A country with the largest oil reserves on the planet faced a food shortage. This isn't politics, this is arithmetic. Two popular objections that are in the heads of half the viewers right now. First, why not print money and immediately buy real assets? Factories, roads, technology. Then there's an anchor. Smart, that's called public investment. Sometimes it works, but there is a problem. The government has to be smarter than the market in choosing where to invest. Historically, this rarely happens. Usually you get an airport in the desert and a stadium for corruption. Second, Japan printed trillions and they have almost no inflation. How? This is a real paradox. Meet Yuki. Japan works because they have an aging population with a very high savings rate. The Japanese don't spend money immediately, they hoard it. And the central bank enjoys absolute market trust, a unique combination. If your country is not Japan, do not try this at home. It's like eating fugu fish at a certified restaurant versus cooking fugu yourself from a YouTube tutorial. Fundamentally different situations. So why can't countries just print money? Because money is not wealth. It's a ticket for wealth. More tickets without more goods just means cheaper tickets. Because trust is the only thing holding the entire system together, and it shatters quickly and rebuilds slowly. Germany 1923, Zimbabwe 2008, Venezuela 2018. Different countries, different eras, same story. And the last thing few people talk about, inflation, is a tax on the poor. A rich bear holds assets, real estate, stocks, gold. They grow with inflation. A poor bear holds cash and a salary. They depreciate. The printing press always hits those with the fewest safety cushions the hardest. Next time, why the US dollar became the world's reserve currency, and why one meeting on an oil tanker in 1945 changed the entire global economy. If you want this video sooner, let me know in the comments. Take off your rose-colored glasses. Stay cold. Welcome to the Berloga.